Hi, this is my IBESS final project. So my view is anthropocentric, and I feel that I fall right in between the view of a self-reliant soft ecologist and the view of an environmental manager. This is because I believe that solving environmental issues the ecocentric way is better, for the reason that this way is more natural to the earth and it's what we're more familiar with. However, even though it definitely reduces our environmental problems, it doesn't necessarily solve them. So this is why I also have hope and belief that technology can solve them, since technology has already proven to do so with some of our other environmental issues. The reason why I have this view is first of all because of school, where I have grown up learning a lot about ways to approach environmental issues in a more ecocentric way, and that is why I have first had the viewpoint of a self-reliant soft ecologist, as opposed to solving environmental issues with technology. Even though my view has been influenced by school, it has also been influenced by my parents, which is quite the opposite of what school has taught me. Overall, my parents don't really care about environmental issues. Like, my dad paid money to cut the trees in our yard because he's too lazy to rake the leaves. And when talking about environmental things with my mom, she often tells me she has no time to care. Just from what I see at home, solving environmental issues the ecocentric way can be easily ignored. This is why I've decided that if I had to choose one or the other, I would say that I am an environmental manager, because society has been moving forward with technology, and from my perspective, there seems to be more hope for better technology that can fix environmental problems, and advanced technology at least could help economic activity with creating more jobs. The reason why I lean towards being an environmental manager is also because of my friends, and just from seeing them every day, they all have the newest technology that comes out, and it's made me see how quickly technology advances over time. When it comes to the use of energy resources, I believe that we should all try to reduce carbon emissions for as much as we can. And I agree and like the idea of this thing called carbon trading, as it puts a limit on how much carbon can be emitted and causes industries to use their credits more efficiently. And it also makes them more aware of the problem of too much carbon in the air, which causes air pollution. However, with this ecocentric view, I think reducing carbon emissions just isn't enough, and we also need technology to offer better solutions to this problem. I think replacing non-renewable energy resources such as fossil fuels with renewable resources would also help reduce emissions. Technologies such as the use of wind turbines and hydroelectricity are also good alternatives for producing energy in place of fossil fuels, because they run off of wind and water, which are both renewable resources. When it comes to municipal solid waste, I think the first thing that we should think about is recycling and see what we can recycle. And I gotta say that I'm a pretty big recycler. Even though we do recycle, I believe that the best way to get rid of our waste is through incineration. I think incineration is the best form of technology we have to get rid of our wastes. Even though it does form emissions and adds more to the air pollution, I believe that in the future, technology could become so advanced that there would be technology available to continue the process of incineration, but at lower amounts of emissions that pollute the air. This view is definitely going to differ from the view of a deep ecologist, because a deep ecologist is most likely not going to believe or trust that technology can solve our environmental problems. There's a super fun site called C&D Recycling. Basically what happened was that a company had incinerated lead in plastic case telephone cables, burned them in pits, and melted off the lead to reclaim the remaining copper wire, meaning much of the metal and other waste were left. After this happened, there were tests that have been done to have found high concentrations of lead and copper in piles, and in the soil, the pits, and in the drainage pathways areas on the site. This had actually affected a few thousand people that lived within 3 miles of the site, because they depend on the wells for their source of drinking water. So after that, the C&D Recycling had done a huge cleanup on the area and removed several tons of cable casings from the site. They took measures to control soil erosion and had cleaned up a lot of the contamination. And this is important because when land or any area is contaminated, this could affect the people that live around it. And if these people are affected by it, they could begin to have health problems. So thankfully for the site in Pennsylvania, it was good that C&D recycling was able to reduce these risks and to protect people from contamination. The environmental issue that I think society needs to take a stance on is drought, because the one thing humans cannot control is weather, meaning we can't control when it'll rain or when it'll be sunny. Because we don't know when it will rain, we should try to save water as much as we can in case it does not rain enough. Not only should we save water, but we should also look into finding other ways where we can clean up water that we do have but is maybe contaminated or dirty. This is really important because the world is already running out of clean drinkable water. So if there are droughts happening in more places, we need to realize that we might actually run out of water if we do not preserve it or find ways to get access to clean water.